Me and my wife went through a situation last year, that we both had to face. And the only thing that mattered to us was our kids. It's like, I'm going to be judged for the rest of my life for that. And I should be. It happened. I did it. And when something like that happens, you got to get up the next day and look at yourself in the mirror and say, first, how did that happen? And how do I make sure that never happens again? When I say judged, there's a lot of people like, oh, if it happened there, that isn't the first rodeo. That's happened before.
Everyone says that about anyone that's caught like this.
100%. And I would say the same exact thing. Not judging people the same. I would say the same thing. But at the end of the day, here's the truth. And you know this, and everybody else in the world that has kids know this. Your kids know exactly who you are. If you're a racist, your kids know you're a racist. If you are, do things like that to your wife, your kids know you. The list goes on and on. Nobody knows you better than your kids do. They lived it. They live in the house, for 18 to 20 years and see what they see. And my kids know who I am. My kids know what I'm about. That's the only fucking thing that matters to me. You know what I mean? So when that situation happened, we had to deal with our kids. Fucking media, you think I give a shit what they fucking think? They can all kiss my ass. My kids were the focus and the priority during that situation. And Dana, my oldest, didn't talk to us for like 4 days.
Really?
And, we got through it with them. But at the end of the day, kids know who you are. And
you owned it. You came out right away, publicly, and owned it. I mean, there's nothing else you could do, I guess, when something's on tape. But still, the words that you said and you used stood out. It was. There's never any excuse. This is on me, and you mentioned your children too.
That's the only that was the most important part of it. That was the only thing that mattered to me and my wife. Nobody wants to see their dumb drunk parents slapping each other on TMZ. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And
when you saw it on TMZ, what?
No, it was bad, but it happened.
Yeah.
And it needed to be dealt with. And when I was going out talking about it publicly, and you got the media asking you about apologies, and we apologized. We apologized to the people that we needed to apologize to our kids. That's what we did. And when I had to talk about that stuff publicly, and I'm comfortable talking about it publicly. It's a part of my life, and it's something that happened, and it's something that I had to deal with at home. At home. The rest of the world, they're always going to say what they're going to say about it, but at the end of the day, it's
well, and I also think people look for, just like the Rogan situation, right? People look for reasons to fully cancel someone.
To attack. Exactly. You're going to get attacked, but deservingly so for me when that happened. And that's one of those, it's one of those moments in your life where you, like I said, I'm one of these people that every day when I wake up, and I told you how much I love waking up, I want to be better tomorrow than I am today. So when that's your mentality and you wake up after a night like that, you have to have a serious sit down with yourself and say, how did that happen? And how do I make sure that never happens again? And I handle it.
How are you better then from that?
I made some decisions in my life that I could guarantee that would never happen again. I made some decisions in my life and things that I needed to fix with myself to make sure that never happens again. Mm-hmm. And that will never happen again, no matter what.
And most important,
and me and my wife have known each other since 8th grade. We've been friends since 8th grade, and we've been married for almost 30 years. So, it's weird, and I think about it all the time. That situation would play out on New Year's Eve, basically on stage, in front of however many people, all, with phones aimed right at me. And boom, here we are.
Did you have like a time where did you have to forgive yourself? Kind of? No?
No.
Because you knew why. You knew why it happened. You mentioned alcohol. So it's not like you're going, what the?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, it was crystal clear how and why it happened. And I had to take a look at myself and say, yeah, we need to fix this, and this can never happen again.
I feel like we're all, we forget sometimes we're human and we're so imperfect.
Sure.
And, oh, by the way, continuing to grow. If we make sure that we do. Like, that's my goal every day. Like you said, a little bit better, especially when you come out of brutal situations.
Yeah, and it's like you said earlier, you were asking me about how do you become this leader when you didn't do this and you didn't do that? By trial and error, you learn, and you. One of the biggest things, in my opinion, in being a leader is you always put people ahead of money.
Mm.
You know, you can be in these positions where we have to make some hard decisions for the bottom line, and you don't choose money over people. I look at the UFC as this battleship that keeps on cruising, and we go to war every day, me and my soldiers, right? And this battleship goes down and we're all in it, or it doesn't go down at all. Mm. You know, and I say it all the time. When it was time to go through COVID and I made the decision that we were going to do it, my crew came with me and we did it. You know, I'm sure people were scared and people were unsure of what might happen, but they believed in me enough to know that I was going to do everything possible to make this as safe as it could possibly be. And when I said it's time to go back, we all went back, man. And
if you hadn't established trust long before then by your employees,
right,
they wouldn't